In this video, we're going to look at adding and subtracting with negatives. Okay, so here is the type you would have met in primary school. So where you have a number and you ask you either add, which means go in this direction, or subtract, which means go in that direction. Now we always begin it the same way. That is where we start. We start at positive 3. You add 5, you're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Lands you on 8, start at 9. So you start at 9, you subtract 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 brings you to 5. Start at -2, so it may sound a bit babyish, but you get the point across. Start at -2, you add 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Brings you to positive 3. Now if you continue that, starting at 6, taking away 9, you'll go to -3. -7, add 2. Sorry, -7, add 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 is 2. And finally, -1, take away 6, -7. So that would be how you do that in primary school. So you're going to have quick practice with some of them. There are 8 questions. Have a go. Answers will appear in a moment. And there are your answers. Now, it becomes a bit more advanced when we look at the rules of integers. So we've got 2 signs here. We've got a positive and a negative. Now, it means 2 things. It means positive, it means negative, but it also means add. This also means subtract. So they have 2 meanings, and that can be quite difficult to see. How do the rules of integers work? Well, here we are. I want to put an example to this. I'm going to pretend this block is hot, so that's why I've gone red, and red for positive. And this is a below 0 block, below 0 degrees we're talking, and it's negative and it's blue. And I've got a glass of Coke, and the Coke is at room temperature. Now, what I am doing is I am adding, so I am adding, and the thing itself is a positive into the Coke. Now, if I add a positive, so people make mistakes and going and add equals an add, or plus and a plus equals a plus. Truly, you are adding a positive. What happens to the temperature of the Coke? It's going to go up. Now, what I'm doing here is I am subtracting, or I am taking away a positive. If I take away a positive, the temperature of the Coke will fall, will go down. Here I am adding a negative, and adding a negative. The temperature of the Coke will go down. And finally, if I subtract a negative, temperature will go up. So that's how this idea works. But let's put it into practice. Stay the same. I want to highlight all of these. These are just your starting points. They have no impact on the question other than it is where you are putting your starting point. I am starting it at positive 5. Now, add a negative 2. That's the same as 5. Add a negative. If I go back, this add a negative gives me a negative. So I'm going to swap all of this for a negative, and it just becomes 5. Subtract 2 gives me 3. 4. This does not change anything to do with the question. That is my starting point, and starting on 4. Subtract the negative. subtract a negative. I'm going to swap that to a positive. -5. This goes to a -4. Now, if I was a -5, and I subtract 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, is -9. -7, to subtract a negative gives me a positive, so +3. So -7, +3, 1, 2, 3 is -4. Positive and negative will give me a -3. So -9, subtract 3 will give me -12, and 11 will give me an add 6 is 17. So here are 10 questions. Have a go, press pause, and the answers will appear in a moment. And there are your answers.